we always start promptly, and you have to be signed in before what? Hold your ears, everybody, because we can't get started until. All right, on-time drawing. We have, what are we giving away? I miss Emily.
Where is she?
She's in Austin at a seminar. Helping, she's learning to bring back her knowledge to us. All right, random number. All right. So what do we got here? We got a lot of goodies. What number? 7. All right, what did she get? She got a lovely bag from Home Partners of America, a nice fleece blanket from Home Partners, from Shawnee at Epic, a mug, and some pens and some other stuff, and I don't know what that is. I'm not saying she needs it, but she has some breath mints. And a fidget spinner.
Wow.
Ooh. All right. But,
I know.
hey Michael, good to see you.
Good to be seen.
So I have this box over here. This box has, they're not saying that we have a lot of bad breath people here. However, we have a lot of breath mints and we have a lot of fidget spinners. So if you guys want breath mints and want fidget spinners, come and get them. But don't be greedy. If you're going to use them, take them. All right?
All right.
Check in on Facebook. Make sure you take pictures throughout. Check in at the end. Make sure that you use the hashtags up here. All right, so our Rev Up training coming up. Tomorrow is Friday the 14th, and it's Financing and Sale Mortgage Basics, and Jim is the instructor on that. That will be live at the Summerlin office, as well as Zoom, but it's much better live. And then on Monday is the residential purchase agreement. That one is Monday evening and Zoom only. And John will be the instructor on that one. Next Wednesday is the residential listing agreement. I will be the instructor. Again, that's live at the Summerlin office and via Zoom. And then, a week from Friday, next Friday is Finding Motivated Sellers, which we all need to do, and preparing to win the listing. And Jeff is the instructor at that one, again, live at the Summerlin office. What was that face? All right, next week on October 26th is Move Easy. Who's familiar with what Move Easy is? Then you all need to be on this Zoom. Move Easy is a concierge service for your clients. It's a really cool, they'll do the utilities, like they do all sorts of great stuff. So next, the 26th at 1 p.m. Arizona time.
It's the same right now.
Is it?
Yeah.
Why didn't?
When that time change, it won't be the same.
But then they're getting rid of so. All right. So we all know, or we all should know, that, thank you, my bad, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Many of us have, what are you doing?
Subject.
You're supposed to do that in the shower, Mike. So, We have more of I'm at a loss for words. We have more of these pins available. If you already have one, don't take one because we're running out. So take one, pass them down, or don't take one, but still pass it down. I'm not going to be Oprah this time. You get a pin. You get a pin. All right, there's my license information for when you're writing contracts. Who doesn't know about Zelle? So you can get your commissions by Zelle to sign up. There's flyers over there, and you just scan the QR codes to get signed up. If you need any help with it, just let us know. We'll help you out.
Mark, will there be a way, if we're receiving Zelle, to eventually have some type of pay stub?
They're talking about it. So the question was, if we're receiving Zelle, will there be some sort of pay stub? They're talking about it, but at this point, I don't know.
Just something to show,
Yeah,
but maybe.
yeah, I get it.
But before we move on from Zelle, the CDA form, do we all know how to make your payment go via Zelle? Each payment line, 7 through 14, has a box. Ignore the words to the right of the box. If there's a box, that's for that payment line, period. You don't have to check the one that's right next to the word Zelle. You don't have to check by check. That is just instructions. That has nothing to do with the box. So just check the box. Line, let's go back to Mark's Oprah comment. Line 7 gets a box. Line 8 gets a box. Line 9 gets a box. That's for that payment line only.
I'm trying to mute him.
I was thrilled
It's not working.
No, that's good to know, actually, because I was checking all of the boxes that said pay by
Everybody gets a
check.
box.
No. Those words mean absolutely nothing. They're generic instructions.
Okay.
You're welcome.
All right. So if you guys have new listings or a hot new listing or an open house that you want to promote to the rest of us, get the information to Stephanie.wood@realty1group. Don't send it to Nicole, because she's just going to forward it on to Stephanie. Any open houses or hot new listings, send to Stephanie, and she'll send out a email every Friday around the same time that your newsletter comes out. So we've been getting quite a few already.
Who gets the emails?
Stephanie.
No, who does she email
Oh,
it
to
to?
the Southwest office.
Only the Southwest, not
Yep.
whatever.
All right, tomorrow's Friday, and we do Team Spirit, so wear your favorite team's jersey. You know what, it is baseball playoff time. Although my team is not in the playoffs, so I guess I won't be wearing the Angels. And I don't have Dodgers, although I am rooting for the Dodgers. They lost yesterday. Anyway, every Friday, wear your favorite team's jersey. October 27th, we are doing a Halloween chili cook-off. Who's got a great chili recipe?
I called Jeff out on it though.
I saw that.
Yeah, he texted me yesterday or 2 days ago.
Yeah. You're bringing the chili?
No, I'm coming to eat the chili.
Well, you know.
I'm participating.
I love that. We better have enough sign up for Chili's or we're gonna have to cancel it. So we want to make sure that we have at least 6 or 8
Everybody brings a
Chili's.
chili.
So I've signed up, I'm gonna bring chili. It's not from Chili's. Although I was tempted to go get Chili's. I am actually gonna cook my own chili, so. There. So
Okay, how much do you have to make?
Enough for 300.
you got a good chili recipe?
I do have one.
All
Are
right.
you signing up?
Sign up. This is Daisy, everybody.
Hi, Daisy.
All right, it's also a costume party, and our theme this year, we have a theme every year. It is Monster Mash. for our theme. What are you dressing up as? Michael's already dressed up.
Just say, if you're already ugly, just tell me you are.
You got that one down. All right, so make sure that you RSVP that you're just gonna show up, or RSVP that you're gonna bring some chili, and we always have a good time at our parties, right? Speaking of parties, our annual Thanksgiving potluck feast is November 17th. There is a sign-up sheet right over there. So sign up for the potluck feast, which is going to be November 17th. I'm guessing around noon or so, 11:30, noon. So lunchtime.
8 to 5.
8. And then our annual Southwest Holiday Party. Mark your calendar for Friday, December 16th is our holiday party. And again, we have good times at parties, so make sure that you are there. Speaking of parties, Rocio has a Twilight Brokers Open tomorrow, right?
Yes, tomorrow.
Tomorrow, 5 to 8, there's the address right there. Take a picture of it, or there's some flyers back there. I'll be going. I'm RSVPing right now.
Perfect.
Do we need RSVP?
I don't really care. No, you don't have to.
No.
Just come.
I don't, or nobody does.
Nobody does.
All right, so there's the address tomorrow evening, 5 to 8. Looks like a beautiful house.
What does the brokers, what does that actually mean outside
It
of a
means,
typical open house?
so the question was, what is a broker's open? It's where us agents can go and take a look at the house, and maybe possibly that one of the agents has a buyer for the house, and to give our opinion on the house and the maybe any staging is needed or anything like that.
But it
Thank
also
you.
shows the sellers that they listed with a company with a lot of agents
That support.
and that support. So I'm gonna go,
Yep, awesome.
just right around the corner, so.
Tomorrow 5 to 8. You going? Say yes. All right. Shawnee, what's going on in the mortgage world?
Like it's a surprise, huh?
Rates are great
It is.
if it was 1988.
I know. What can we do to help our buyers? Asking for closing costs, from the seller. Right now, lately, I'm having trouble because buyers are short to close. Funds are short. So if the seller is not giving you closing cost, we cannot buy down the rate, because right now at par there is nothing, even at a higher interest rate. So if the seller is contributing towards buy down the rate or the closing cost, it's kind of getting tough to close a deal. So ask for closing cost, and not the price reduction, closing cost. It will help us to do the loan. That's all.
Awesome. Thank you, Shawnee. Any questions on mortgages? Rates are high, but people are still buying. There's let's just find those people that are motivated to purchase. People that are relocating, or people that selling a house in California and have a boatload of money. There's buyers out there. All right. All right, Felicia is not here today, but we do have Debbie and Eugenia from Rock Title.
Good morning, everyone. Just to share a little bit on the escrow title side of the business, the market, it is adjusting. Sellers are giving a lot of credit, paying off home warranties. So don't be afraid to ask. It's better to ask a little more so that way they can negotiate a little bit somewhere in between. But pretty much every single deal that I'm closing, there is a seller credit. They're paying home warranty. Also keep in mind, both of us do our own signing, so we'll be waiving the notary fee. I put the sheet with our discounts, so take advantage of that. We have first-time buyers discounts, senior discounts, a bunch of discounts, especially for your listings. We'll get 30% off to the seller buyer. So yeah, take advantage by Mitchell Dad. We're here to support. Very close to 15 and Russell, and I don't know, you know.
And they do an amazing job.
Yeah. I mean, I already work with some of you guys, and I'm very, very thankful, grateful that you guys gave me the opportunity to work with you. So hopefully we can continue to grow our business.
And this is Debbie, not Martinez.
Debbie Fernandez, I'm the new branch manager at the Southwest Rock Title office. You know, our office is always available for you guys. If your clients can't come to us, I will make it a point to come to them, whether it's in your office or, you know, some of the senior clients can't make it into the office. I will personally meet with them because, you know, they hold a special meaning to my heart. My parents are 82 and 84, and it's not always easy for them to get around. So just please keep us in mind.
Awesome.
That would have been good when you closed.
I'm 62, not 82. And you're only 8 months behind me.
But I'm still
Although you
61.
look 10 years older than me. He started it. All right. Next up, this is why you're all here. It's because of our team panel. So come on up, guys. We have Shad Williams, Brian Mitchell, Damon Caldwell, Nathan Petrosian, and Nathan has Justin along as well. Come on up.
All right. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody.
Old picture of me. I'm going to be one of those realtors.
You know, it still looks like you. Well, good morning, guys. Thanks for coming out and joining us for our business meeting. So I looked to see they all have their pieces of paper, and I've given them a list of questions. And you know, sometimes I'm going to go off script. You know, you're not going to have the questions that are in your hand. So, you know, I know you guys are all professionals and can handle, well, except Justin. So I'm going to start off with the first question. First question, and we'll just go right down the line. Started with Damon. Everybody knows Damon, right? Damon Caldwell. This is the Caldwell Group. And so the first question.
Former broker.
Former, yep. He's the shoes
Just
I had.
remember,
I'm
I'm the one
still-
that suggests.
He's the shoes I'm still trying to
I'm the
fill.
one that put Mark in this position, okay? There's some credit there, okay?
So you have him to blame.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so the first question. If you had to choose between two superpowers, being invisible or flying, what would you choose and why? Oh, I didn't tell you I'm going off script on occasion, did I?
Because I would actually love to fly. I would love to fly to just be able to experience.
Where would you fly?
I might fly around the world.
Uh-huh.
I'd fly around the world and just experience, take it all in, take in the beautiful earth and you know, stars, sky, and you know, clouds, you name it. Yeah, I'm an earthly person, so I love to fly.
All right. Nathan, you're looking deep thought. You're thinking about this.
I'm envisioning myself flying.
He's gonna jump off the cliff.
Who wants to be invisible?
If you had a third one to choose, would that be it? Be invisible?
No, I would want to fly. That would be mine.
Uh-huh. Yep.
That's fair.
Yep.
Is that the question? Same one.
Justin?
I mean, since I'm a small guy, I always feel invisible anyway, so I think I would probably go with flying.
Yeah, we don't see him.
Yep.
Or maybe we just ignore him.
Maybe.
All right. Flying, superpowers, invisible, what would you?
What's your max speed if you're flying? Because if it's like 15 miles an hour, I might pass on that. But if I could fly over all the traffic, be twice as efficient as my job, I might.
Yeah, it would be fast. It'd be fast.
Yeah, no, I'm very aerodynamic.
So everyone is flying so far.
Yep, and I'll stick
Right?
with the same flying.
Everyone wants to
Yeah.
fly. And me too. That would be mine if I if I got to choose one. All right, next question is, and we'll start on the other end this time, Brian. Just give me a brief bio, brief intro about you. Tell me about how long you've been in real estate, how long you've been with Realty One Group.
So I started real estate in late 2004. Worked all through the crash, came back out of it, and as far as being with Realty One Group, I started with Realty One Group in 2015. So about 7 years now. Came over with a team from I think it was ERA is what they had switched to, but it was Realty Executives at the time. When they switched over, the model that would change, the commission standards changed with them. So I moved over to Realty One Group and extremely happy over there since.
Never looking back, huh?
Never looking back.
Awesome. I was with Realty Executives years ago.
Were you? Yeah, Jeff and Bobby.
Way before they changed it.
Yeah.
Chet.
Yeah, I got licensed January 2009. So those of you that are new to the shifting market, I joined at the worst time back then, if you can rewind the clock. I've been with Realty One Group the entire time. Joined Realty One Group and haven't left Green Valley office the entire time.
Awesome.
Yep.
Justin.
I'm going on my 10th year. I got licensed in 2013. I started with another I've been with a couple different teams, and I joined Nathan's team 3 years ago, and one of the best decisions I've made.
What's your position on Nathan's team?
I'm the salesman.
Salesman? What does that entail?
Everything.
Whatever
Nathan tells me to do, and whatever the agents tell me to do is what I do.
Helping agents sell.
That sounds like I know.
Yeah.
Nathan.
Oh gosh, 20 years in the business, on the dot. Part of that time was mortgage lending, 18 years in Las Vegas, with Realty One for 10 years, last 10 years. I started off in mortgage lending. It was the same license back in California, so you do a little bit of both, right? So I have a good, probably 6-7 years experience doing loans, mostly home buyer focus. That kind of helps in this market actually, because we're doing rate buy downs, this and that, we're getting creative. So I found that experience to help me as well. And then I switched to strictly real estate in about like 2007, 2008.
Awesome. Yeah, many of us don't know, many of you don't know that in California, in order to do loans, you have to have your real estate license there. My brother owns a mortgage company, so that's how I know that. I actually, back in 1992, I think, I helped him study for his, long before I got into real estate.
Right, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Damon.
Awesome. I have to disagree with Shad over here real quick, sorry. I think that getting in the real estate market in 2009 was the best time.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have the expectation that we all had going into 2003, 4, 5. Woo, we're making money hand over fist. Getting in 2009, at least you started at the bottom and came up, which I will say is, with the changing, shifting market now, for those who get into real estate, it's a great time for you to get into real estate because you get to start with the market that we're in today, not the market that we were in 2001 where you're tripping over business again. So great opportunity for you folks, so stay focused. Been in business since 2001. So got in 2001, I've been with the 3 larger brokerages in my career here in Las Vegas, all right here in Las Vegas. And I've been with Realty One Group for over 10 years now, going on 11 years. As you guys know, as the corporate broker for all of those years, actually. And I was a corporate broker for some of the other larger companies as well before coming to Realty One Group. So it's been a wonderful journey.
It's awesome. Thanks, guys. So let's talk about last few years in real estate here. So as we all know that 2020 we had the pandemic and it hit hard and it hit a lot of us hard. How did you guys' business change at that time?
So I have to be very transparent here. I wasn't a team leader at that time. I was assisting you folks as your corporate broker. So in regards to what I did, which is a very similar role. We're still coaching, training agents in that position. really stay focused on the opportunities. That is a key word, right? In real estate, in any market, it's identifying the opportunities, okay? Where the business is happening, educating yourself so you can support your clients, getting really educated on how to best guide and help the clients at hand given the market that we're in. So I think that was really my focus, was what do agents need to do now, right, with COVID hitting, to continually grow their knowledge and help their clientele.
We're gonna jump a little bit. Chad, answer the same question, please.
How did the business change with the pandemic?
Yeah, how did your business change?
Me individually, I went heavy listing, just because I realized what was coming on. So I shifted my advertising, I shifted my focus, and I think I don't know my exact numbers, but I'd say 9 listings to 1 buyer, or the buyers that I did do was sold their house to go buy another one. So personally, I just was like, I don't want to fight an uphill battle, so let me shift what I'm doing to be more successful and, path of least resistance for the most part. As far as the team goes, obviously there was the first few months where everybody was really nervous. I was like, are we ever going to sell a house again? And kind of what a lot of people are feeling now. And then once we saw the light at the end of the tunnel, which was pretty quick given what was going on in the world, it was, feast or famine. We saw really quickly those agents on our team that were going to be successful, and we just guided them to their success, and it was phenomenal. I mean,
awesome. So real quick, you guys are a team. How long have you been a team?
So yeah, we actually both ran small teams up until 2018. We were out at a golf event of all things, and we got partnered up together. So we were in the same golf cart, and we just started talking.
Who's the better golfer?
Chad is. We just started talking, and we were very like-minded. We were running similar size teams at the same time. And the way it initially started with us is we wanted a different voice to come in and just talk to the other group, right? And so we started combining some of our training. We didn't combine the teams at that point. We wanted Shad to come in and train on certain things, and then I would come in and train on certain other things, because we have different strengths, right? And he's very strong at sales. I'm very strong at maybe the management or the actual contractual side of real estate. And so when we did that, everything was going well, and we went to a conference in Scottsdale, and we were talking to a gentleman up there, Brett Tanner, and he said you guys just need to combine. And we did. When we combined, we had about 15 agents. We quickly got to 30 or 40 agents, and now in the Green Valley office, we're the largest team in the Green Valley office.
So going back to our other question, Shad went heavy listings. What did you do at the beginning of the pandemic?
Oh, at the beginning of the pandemic was interesting, because we were getting calls on a daily basis from all our agents, and we didn't have the answers because nobody had ever lived through something like that before.
We were all kind of in panic.
It was. I mean, you didn't know what to say. We were sitting back. Shad and I really looked at our books, and we were looking at how we need to start cutting down, making sure that we can really survive that, because we didn't know how long that was going to last. But it quickly jumped out of it. I think it only lasted a month or so, and as soon as the market started pumping again, we've been running about as hard as we could run for 2.5 years. So in July, it actually kind of felt a little nice. I was telling Shad, because the market pumped its brakes a little bit, and it was the first time that I had breathed in like 2.5 months or 2.5 years from running so hard. What's different, a little bit different about Shad and I, we are producing agents. So we were buying it, we were helping buyers and sellers during that whole thing. It wasn't just solely focused on the group. So during that time, we were growing several businesses, both our own business, because I think both of our businesses personally grew, but then we were growing the group's business at the same time.
Awesome. Justin and Nathan, same question for you.
Start. Yeah, it was kind of a little bit of a shock there, right? But I mean, the main thing, and similar to what we're doing now, is just focusing on training the agents on what message to send to your clients, right? To the people, right? Should you be buying? Should you be selling? Like, what's going on, right? So as soon as we found that out, that's what we trained the agents to do: stay in contact, nurture those relationships, right? Which is similar to what we're doing now. right?
I think what meant a lot to me, because I was an agent, I wasn't part of the management team when it happened. I remember sitting in the bullpen the day that Mark came out and said, okay, we're closing the office, everybody's going home. And I was like, oh crap, now what are we gonna do? Then the news came that the casinos are closing, everything's going, so as an agent, I was freaking out. And then I remember the next day, starting to get phone calls and texts and emails from Nathan. He was reaching out to everybody on the team. Be on Zoom, here's the link, we're gonna have a conversation. And he immediately started to having that conversation with us. These are our next steps, these are the next things to do. Reach out to your clients, learn to use Zoom, learn to use do video showings, things like that. Just putting plans in front of us. You know, letting us know, I'm not going to stop lead generating just because we're shut down. So making sure that when we came out of it, there was still business for us.
I kind of look at it like the agents are our clients, right? And the agents have their clients, right? So it's all about that communication. When something changes, like right now in the marketplace, everyone's running, trying to listen to the news, you know, well, this is the time that you have to stay engaged and communicate with your team, right? And your clients.
So that was back in March of 2020, basically, when the pandemic hit. And there was one word that we all said a lot at that time was pivot. We all had to pivot the way we did business at that time. You know, fast forward to June of this year, and we've had another big change. I mean, those last 2.5 years were crazy, but crazy good. And like Brian said, you know, a lot of us didn't have a chance to breathe during that period of time. And now it's the market has changed again. So what are we doing different now that we weren't doing before, Nathan?
Well, like I said, a lot of things are before, not COVID time, but like from 4 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
So just that reaching out, contacting our clients, we're contacting our agents to contact their clients, and we're just keeping in touch. We're telling them what message should you be sending to your clients right now. So the message we're sending to the agents is now's the time to take market share. Half the agents are on vacation, they're hanging up their license, right? There's still homes being sold.
Driving Uber.
Right, driving Uber, right. Now's the time to take market share. Now's the time to build your skills with the new market. Now's the time to learn how to send the right message to your client to see if buying a home is right for them, right? Instead of just, oh, buying a home's not good right now. Well, that's great. Let everybody else think that, right? So that way you have 10 homes to choose from instead of 2, right? So you can negotiate, we can negotiate a good deal on your behalf in this market, right? So it's really that communication and educating the client is what you guys gotta focus on right now. And that's what we're focusing on with our agents training.
I want to reiterate something that Nathan just said is about skills. You know, sharpening your skills. Now is absolutely the time to pivot and sharpen your skills. Whether it's, you know, and Damon and I built our business off of expired listings years ago. Get really, really good at expireds. Get really, really good at BizBuzz. So awesome. Justin.
I think pretty much the same thing Nathan said is that we have to learn, as agents, we have to learn to control the narrative. We have to learn to overcome what people are hearing on the news or their best friend's second uncle's cousin and talk about the market and what it is and how we can overcome it. And learning how to write a new contract, because 8 months ago we're all writing contracts with appraisal gaps and over ask and really kind of learning how to negotiate. So we really work with the agents to change their language a little bit and then help them understand maybe what they don't know or they realize they don't know and help them get to that point to where they can educate their clients better.
So another question for you, Justin. Did you finally get an offer accepted that had my name on it?
1 out of 5. I was like, I'm just saying, I was like, I want to say like I was like 27 out of 29 with Damon, and 1 out of 5 with you, so it's not looking good. So.
Just checking. Appreciate that. At least you got the one. Right. So what are we doing different now with the latest shift?
Well, it is cool what they said. So we call it being the mayor of your community, right? You go out and you drive the narrative. You don't let the media do it. You're the person in front of your clients, and you're driving the correct narrative, because there is a lot of misinformation that they see on the news on a daily basis. So we always talk about it as being the mayor of your community, and that's what you really need to focus in on. As far as us personally and what we're doing as market shifting, is really doubling down on our business. And it sounds surprising that we're doing that, but in these particular times, we view it as a fantastic opportunity to take market share. It really is, because there's a lot of agents that are not taking action in this market. They're scared of the market. They're buying into that there's no sales going on. And so for Shad and I, we look at it as a complete opposite. This is a great opportunity. I mean, at this time, those agents, they're consumers. We're going to go after them, and that's what we want to do. So we're actually in this market, and I did it during the crash too. I doubled down on everything. I went for it full bore, and we came out stronger on the other end. And that to me is the most important time during this time, is to really take over market share that others are just afraid to take.
Awesome. David, same question.
Yeah, for me, it comes really down to almost one word, and that's education. Right? You have to be more educated today than ever, really, with all the dynamics in our market, all the changes that are taking place. I mean, it could be as simple as, what changes have you made to your CMA, going and talking to a seller, because that's going to either cost you a listing or it's going to win you a listing. If you can educate them on where prices are headed. Are they going to be ahead of the market? Or are they going to be chasing the market, right? And then you end up with an expired listing down the road. Same thing with buyers. I think you really need to just be in tune with what is going on in the market. You don't want to feed into media, but you have to stay educated. Your lender needs to be your best friend right now. As far as affordability, that is one of the key factors, challenges that we have in our market is affordability, right? If affordability came back tomorrow, we would still be in the same hot market we were in 3 months ago, 4 months ago. So overcoming the challenges of affordability is one of the first keys in continuing to do business. And I love what these guys said, more millionaires are usually made in down times than up times. So there's huge opportunities if you can stay focused and if you have a game plan in place and you stay educated, educate yourself.
Absolutely. And the key, they're all talking about education and learning. Shad, do you have anything to add to that?
No, I mean, everybody kind of hit the nail on the head there, though. I think one of the steps we've made since before the shift, but that's really helped our agents, is Brian and I attend every single listing appointment with agents on our team.
Love that.
And what Damon said is totally accurate. If you get your foot in the door, we need to lock that up. So that's why we attend. We make sure our agents get that listing, right? Might be take them a little longer to sell it, price sensitive, all that good stuff that's going on right now, but we just make sure, hey, we've locked that deal up for you, whether it takes you a week to sell it or 3 months to sell it. That's one action we've taken because the worst thing is getting the appointment and not locking that up.
Yeah, I love that. I really do. Because you guys know how to educate the seller a lot better than a
expectation
agent,
setting.
Yeah.
I mean, they're watching the news, so
Yeah.
we use that negative information to help us in setting expectations with
It's
our
all about
clients.
setting expectations.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And again, it's a good learning experience for everybody too, because you guys get to go in and see a listing presentation that's been dialed in. I mean, Shad and I probably attend 3 to 5 listing appointments each week. So you really get to see that experience
You
of
kinda
somebody
got
put in
good at
there,
it,
and we do decent at it. So that you get to negotiating the commissions, negotiating the prices, all that stuff, and it's a good learning experience on that end for everybody to see.
Love that. All right, so I always tell agents, always, they ask me, I ask them, what do you think the job as a realtor is? And they say, it's to show homes, to write contracts, and it's all bullshit. Your job as a real estate agent, and many of you have heard this from me over and over again, is to find people that want to buy, sell, invest in real estate. That's your job. So what methods of lead generation are you guys using? And more importantly, what are you telling your agents to use for lead generation? Nathan?
Variety. Variety is always good because some get slow, some leads get slow, right? referrals are great, but then you get the constant, up and down. So we teach agents not only to get referrals and find their own clients and how to do that, but also we provide leads as well, so they have a consistent flow of leads and income, right? So variety of sources. But it's really the usual stuff, but we supplement that with purchasing some leads, teaching you guys how to get it organically, social media, open houses, making phone calls, following up your sphere of influence, right? All those things.
I absolutely love that question. I'm gonna throw a question out to the audience.
Love it.
Okay, because that's actually, I wrote a list of my own questions for you folks.
Oh, no, that's bullshit.
Again, I'm
You trying to take over here?
No, it's just, I'm sure, many of us are coaching, educating our agents on many of the same things, but over the years, I've been doing this 21 years, and I will say the number one factor in an agent's success, and I'm gonna ask you guys a question. Do you guys know on a day-to-day basis what your target markets are? Do you know what your daily disciplines are? How many?
Who wants to answer
How
that?
many people wake up every morning, they know what their day should look like, and who they're calling, who they're contacting for leads? Who knows? If you answer that question, folks, there's 50 plus different ways to do business. Okay, there's going to be team leads, there's going to be your sphere of influence, there's going to be farming, right? Geographic farming, networking. It's the tried and true. Social media now has probably become the one thing that's more confusing than agents to anything, because it's just enough to keep you in front of the computer for 8 hours a day without a real focus of using it for lead gen, okay? With that, if you can identify the 3 to 5 things, now if you're an advanced agent, you already have business coming in, maybe it's 10 things, okay, that you're doing. It's real simple for me. If an agent knows their target markets and they know the strategies to use in those target markets, you will be successful in real estate. Bottom line. What are your target markets? Who are you talking to every day? And it has to be a daily focus, your daily disciplines, right? So are you doing open houses 3 to 5 days a week? Are you farming a community? Are you calling expireds, right? Are you door knocking? Are you leveraging social media, not just for playtime, but are you actually intentionally using it to build your sphere? Have you joined groups that you're passionate about and friend requested? You can build your sphere, your social media platform out with hundreds and hundreds of people within a month by just leveraging it with touching people that are psychographic. They have the same similarities or same interests as you. So you really have to sit down, regardless team, whatever, you have to sit down and identify what your strengths are, where you see yourself doing business every day, and commit. And it has to be a consistency. Really, that's what this business is about.
That's the word, consistency.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and basically, I always say something very similar to what Damon said, is all agents should have 4 to 6 lead sources. Number one lead source should be your database, and all your other lead sources are feeding that database.
Don't be a dabbler. Don't be a jack of all trades, a master of none. Fine tune and master your skill set. It's so important.
Awesome. Chet.
I think one of the big advantages Brian and I have that we ran separate businesses and merged is we've been through, I've thrown money at every lead generation online that we can.
Yeah.
So we've shifted. I was a big Zillow guy. I paid Zillow for probably 7-8 years, a lot of money every single month. And as of January this year, I pay Zillow $0, right? So we've shifted. We have multiple online lead generation. We have a 6-figure lead generation budget every year. So we spend a lot of money on it. But we also, in the same breath, teach our agents, you don't want to work online leads. Our goal is to make it so you never close an online lead again.
Love it.
Right? For me, I want my phone ringing. I don't want me ringing other people. So we want to teach them how to build their business like these guys were saying.
For sure.
The big advantage, all their deals are closing in their name and their license number. So if you're not out there getting reviews on every platform, Google My Business, Zillow, everything, you got to build your business so you have an online reputation, because people are going to Google you. And if you have 0 sales in the last 12 months and 0 reviews, their comfort level in using you, they might like you, but they might say, well, who is this person? They don't have any sales, they don't have anything going on. So we really teach our agents how to build their business. And Damon said it right, there's 50 different ways that you can do this. What I do is not gonna work for you, and it's not gonna work for you, right? Yeah. So we adapt, what's your lifestyle? What do you do on a regular basis? And let's figure out how we develop a personalized game plan for each individual agent.
I was fascinated. We were out to lunch with a very large agent a couple days ago.
Not me.
And he had his game dialed in so perfectly. He personally does about 100 transactions annually, and he told us right off the bat. He said, "I take 5 listing appointments a week. I land 2 of them. So I take 100 listings a year, and this is it. All of his business runs off it." I said, "How did you set up this business? Was it repaying for leads? What were you doing?" He said, when he first got into real estate, he literally sat down and read The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. And he took
If any of you have not read that book, you need to.
He goes, "I took notes on it. I didn't have anything else going on, and I did exactly what the book told me to do." And it was touching, creating these communities, farming well, touching the sphere of influence, and doing these consistencies in his business. And at this point, he has, I think, 2 agents on his team. They each do about 40 transactions each. It's all the buyers. That's all the buyers' leads that come in off his listings. And his business is dialed. I mean, it was crazy how perfectly he runs a real estate company.
It's awesome.
And a big producer, he doesn't touch anything above 800,000. That's my jaw dropped to the floor.
Yeah.
He has an agent on his team that is excellent at hand-holding and coddling those higher end. So they do a lot of luxury. He doesn't take those. He knows his strengths. It's pretty brilliant.
Yeah.
He goes, I'm not gonna babysit them the way they need to be
That's
babysat.
awesome.
So he gives them to an agent on his team that is phenomenal with agent contact and staying in touch with them. So it's a brilliant way to run your business. He knows that's not his strength. He doesn't want to lose those luxury listings because that's a big paycheck. So, it's pretty brilliant that you can structure your business a million different ways.
But he's the agent that takes action on a daily basis and goes and touches his sphere, touches his communities, and his hands are everywhere. And he leverages it well with some employees to make sure he's touching those people on a weekly basis. I mean, it's really impressive how he runs it and how we all should run it.
Awesome. Next question, or anyone else have anything to add regarding the lead generation and what you're teaching your agents?
I think they hit the nail on the head. I mean, it's like specialization on what you're good at, what you enjoy doing, right? Maybe people you relate with, shared hobbies, this and that, those types of groups, right? You don't have to do it all, right? And then having expectations of what you need to do to get those results, right? How long am I gonna have to train for this niche? How successful will I be? Like finding that out in advance before you just tackle it, and then quit because you didn't give it long enough, or because you realize it's too expensive, or it's not your thing, right? So get some consultation on that.
All right, cool, thank you. All right, next question is, you've all been doing this a long time. What is the best piece of real estate advice you've ever gotten? Damon.
So I go back to my mentor, actually Mr. Mark Stark. Right? A couple of things that I learned that I still teach in training today as we're training our agents and coaching our agents. It's always you and your client against the market. It's never you and the market against your client. A piece of advice that really, it's always you and your client. It should always be you and your client against the market, never you and the market against the client. That stayed with me, embedded in my head for 21 years. And when you really dive into it, and what that means is, when you're sitting with your client, you start asking yourself, are you doing everything that you can to help them achieve success, whether buying or selling? Or are you the agent that is using the words, no, you can't do that, not gonna be able to do that for you? That language starts becoming you in the market against the client. And if you wanna build relationships and truly earn somebody's trust and build rapport, you need to be in their corner all the time, educate them, and fight hard for them. That's what that means. It's you and them against the market, not you and the market against them. The other thing I learned that I still teach as well in marketing. You know, we all sit down and create flyers, posters. One of the things that helped me launch my career in farming, I was a farming maniac. I killed it in farming. I did it wrong for about a year though, and internalized that when you are branding yourself, marketing yourself, think like the consumer, think like the person you are trying to help, not like an agent. Right? Take yourself out of your agent role and put yourself in the consumer's role. What challenges are they faced with? What questions do they have? How are you going to be able to help them and their needs? That will help you with your marketing, advertising, and branding. So those are two key things I think that have stayed with me for the length of my career that I share with agents, that I coach agents.
Awesome. It's funny how we learned things long ago, and we still, it's like coming out of our mouth what we were taught, yeah. So Nathan, best piece of real estate advice you give?
When I first got into real estate, I was heavy into like, I want to learn everything I can about real estate investing for personal purchasing homes, right? So I would say like Robert Kiyosaki was one of my mentors as far as investing, and just all about that. Buying real estate is a great investment. It's the best investment, right? And creating that passive income. So that's always kind of stuck with me, and I've taught those skills and strategies to clients and investors, right? Second, I'd say is to just keep in touch with the people that you want to work with, the types of clients you want to work with, help build those relationships, and go above and beyond for that target market, right, that we're talking about. Just nurture that relationship so you can create that client for life for those people.
I love that. Keep in touch with those that you want to do
Right.
business with. Because I always tell agents that people refer people like themselves. So if you have a parcel, you don't want to keep in touch with them.
So be proactive, not reactive, right? Time block to reach out to those people.
Yep.
Right? Manage your time better.
Justin, best piece of real estate advice that I've ever told you.
Let's see, what was the last one? The last question I went to was, I don't know. If that was your answer. No, keep your passion. You got into real estate because obviously you had a passion for it. And that's what someone told me. It took me a year and a half. When I got into real estate, it took me a year and a half to cash my first check. And I was done. I was ready to quit. I was like, I made a mistake. And then that first check came and I got really excited and I got my passion back. And when you have that passion, it comes out, exudes out of you. And it attracts other people who are passionate about real estate. You know, we're just talking about lead generation. You should be your #1 lead generator. When you think about it this way, when you're looking to buy a car, what do you see on the road every day? The same car you've been looking to buy, right? Yeah. You think about that. So the same thing in real estate. If you're waking up and you're passionate about real estate, first thing in the morning, and you keep that focus throughout the day, you will start to see the opportunities. Maybe it's an open house. Maybe it's just walking into the restaurant and talking to your hostess, or wherever you're at, whatever you do, sitting. I like to play poker. I've recruited agents and done deals at a poker table. So whatever it is you like to do on the golf course, wherever it is, if your passion comes out of you, you'll find success. So keeping your passion, not letting this industry, which can be challenging at times, not letting it beat you down.
Awesome. Love that, Justin. Thank you. Chad.
We actually just had the opportunity to go to this pretty high-end conference where we were like the small fish in the room, which was actually really nice. Mm-hmm. And there's a real estate coach, nationwide guy. He actually charges $2,000 for a 20-minute one-on-one phone call.
Who's that?
Chet Black?
That's an agent in Summerlin, his brother.
Yeah.
Like, great guy.
So he spoke to us for 2 hours straight and had the most profound things to say, and I'm, writing notes at a rapid pace. But it was the most basic thing he said that resonated with me, and it was work works. And most agents, in our sales pitch to join our team, we say, look, if you want to chill at home and watch Netflix all day, binge away. You're not going to get a phone call from us. You can do whatever you want. You're a big boy or a big girl. Do whatever you want. But work works. You want to put in the work, you will reap the benefits from it. So that's that for me, it was very profound. I can outwork anyone if I want to, right? It's up to me. I control that destiny.
It can't get much more simple than that, can you?
No,
Work works. I love that. Brian?
Yeah, another thing he said during it is knowledge is worthless without action. And he said, listen, you can sit there and learn your contracts, you can do all that stuff, but not getting out there and actually doing the work is worthless. I mean, you don't need to sit in the classroom with me and I can teach you the residential purchase agreement. You need to get out there and start hustling. And that's something Chad and I have always preached. You know, we're heavy transactionally when it comes down to getting you find a client, you start getting everything rolling with them. We'll make sure it gets closed. But it's you taking that action and finding that client and getting them in the car, getting that listing appointment set, or getting them a rental, whatever it might be. That's what it takes. It's not the necessary knowledge of learning the contract. We're going to get you through those contracts and stuff like that.
Knowledge is worthless without action. I love that, because we're talking a lot about learning here, but we can learn all we want, but if we're not going to do the work, what good is it? So I love that. That's awesome. Thank you guys. Next question. So there's a lot of different types of teams out there, and you guys all have different types of teams. Tell me briefly the kind of team that you have. How would you briefly describe your team? Damon.
So we are a brokerage within a brokerage, and so our number one goal is to dwarf the brokerage. Realty One Group. And that's not negative. Realty One Group's an amazing brokerage. Our goal is to outpace them in every area that we can. RevUp is 12 modules. We have 23 modules in our Essentials program, right, for training. Our CRM is a lead generation CRM that is superior to other CRMs in many cases. So some of the offerings, our goal is to provide an optimum agent experience. But our number one benefit would be that we have team leaders that are invested in you, that manage about 10 to 15 coach train about 10 to 15 agents on their teams. That gives them the ability to provide a superior support system for our agents. So they actually are able to go on listing appointments with you, go on buyer appointments, mentor you, coach you, and train you. I think one of the best ways for an agent to learn is to actually see it done, right? Is not be told in a classroom, hey, this is what you have to do this. And love what was just said here with Chad and Brian with contracts are great, but if you don't know how to market and advertise yourself, they're not gonna do you any good. You have to learn how to market and advertise yourself. So that's what our team leaders are there for, is to help you, hold you accountable, keep you focused on opening escrows. I know we have a couple back here, Judy Huffington and Adonia here with us. A couple of our, and Judy's, she shared some success stories. She has accountability groups with her team. They've opened up like 3 escrows, this last week just by some accountability with their team. So, but that's our number one focus, is to provide the training, support, education for our agents to help them succeed in real estate, right? Achieve their goals in real estate.
Chad and Brian, you can answer together, separate, whatever you want. What type of team do you have? What is your
Oh, the best.
No, we've talked about that quite a bit. I would consider us to be a heavy mentoring team. I rarely go on an appointment where I don't have a new agent with me shadowing. So
whether it's your appointment or their appointment, huh?
On my appointments, somebody's coming with me.
Nice.
Number one, they're gonna learn way more than sitting in a classroom and hearing about it. They're gonna live it. So when they go to their first listing appointment, they've seen it with me, they've seen it with Brian, they've seen it, we have 2 sales managers, they've seen it with them. So they're gonna be that much more comfortable. So we're heavy mentoring, and that's.
Love it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Nathan.
Let's see. Well, I started off at working with more experienced agents and helping them scale their business, right? And then kind of gravitated towards helping newer agents, right? So now we have a really good newer agent program as well, and a lot of that's just a lot of one-on-one coaching, training, mentoring, helping that agent achieve their individual goal, helping them overcome that thing that's holding them back from getting to that next level. You know, and that's with all agents across the board. Like, what's holding you back from getting to that next level you want to achieve, right? And we tackle that head on, whether it's mental, whether it's a skill, whether it's accountability, whatever it is for you. We help you one-on-one to achieve that.
Awesome. So it is 10:30 right now. And I have two more questions. So I want to put this question out to all of you because I like to be respectful of your time. Do we want to go a little longer? Do we want to? You guys, are you cool with staying just a little longer to answer my last two questions?
Two more, might
Two
not
more,
sound
yeah.
great.
Two more.
You're not gonna be like superhero
Two more. No more superhero questions. I'm sorry, Justin. No flying for you. Yeah. All right. If someone is looking to build their own team, what's the best piece of advice that you can give them? We'll start with Shad and Brian.
Buckle up.
Love it.
Yeah, it's an interesting experience. It really is. Your heart has to be in the right place.
So when did you first start your team?
So
your separate teams.
I've ran several teams really since the crash. So when the market crashed, I was fortunate enough to be a listing agent for a lot of banks. So I worked through the default. I worked in the default industry through 2008 through to about 2012. And then I worked in short sales after that for a few years. So during that time, I didn't have enough time to do anything. So I was running around for the banks everywhere, and I grew a fairly large team at that time. But I didn't build it correctly. That team was strictly based on, hey, I'm just having too many phone calls coming in. You guys just take the business. I don't care. Just pay me something. Let's go. There's nothing behind it. There's no training, nothing. So when the default industry kind of came to a halt, I had nothing left to offer, so the team quickly dissolved. Became a single individual producing agent, and then I started to build out again because my business got so big that I needed help. I needed people to assist. But in this case, I started doing it with training. I started being a better mentor and figuring out. Initially, a small group's not a highly profitable thing. Even a large group, it can, you know, when you start adding in marketing budgets and things like that, and then you bring in your sales managers and you bring in all this stuff, the cuts get pretty low. It's not as sexy as a lot of people think it is, and so you just have to be aware of that. What it's done for Shad and I, though, and we talk about it all the time, is you know, we've been a high producing agent in the market for agents in the market for a long time. And we got, you know, we were jaded to it. I mean, we'd get these big checks, and you know, we didn't even go home and tell our wives. I mean, it was just like it was something that just happened on a daily basis. You know, it wasn't like special.
They're all in agreement.
It wasn't special to us. And so all of a sudden, you know, we had this team. We started growing this team. We started bringing on newer agents. And Vicky closes the deal, and it's her first deal, and we're like, oh my God, this is like the coolest thing in the world that's happened. We get excited. We're telling people, and like. It really rejuvenated our love for real estate. So it was an interesting process, and we had to put ourselves out there to do it and really decide, listen, it feels good. We're enjoying doing this, and so just be aware. You know, it looks a lot sexier on the outside than it may be on the inside. You need good experience. I don't know how a new agent gets into it and starts building out a group immediately because there's no contractual knowledge, there's nothing. I mean, there's a lot of things that go wrong on a daily basis. I think all three of us, we run fairly large teams, and they can probably speak to it too. I mean, we need to know these things to keep our agents out of trouble, and we run into this stuff on a daily basis.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking about a new agent. I'm talking about an experienced agent that's thinking about forming a team. Shad, anything?
Yeah, if you're doing it for the money, just go sell another couple houses a year and get more money. 100%, right? And to speak to that too, for me, I don't care how long you've been doing it. You better know your stuff if you're going to start a team. You can be licensed for 15 years and still be pretty bad at your job. I know you guys have worked with those people. You know, you do a deal, you see their license number, you're like, oh, this person's been doing this a minute, and then you're like, they don't know anything. So make sure you want to do it, and make sure that you're doing it for the right reasons. And those reasons can be different. They can be financial based as well, don't get me wrong, but you're bringing, you know, you're gonna change your lifestyle. There's no doubt about it. Like, that was my biggest hesitation, is I was closing a lot of deals, but I was still golfing a couple times a week. I was still getting out to the lake in the afternoon when my kids got off of school. The quality of life was great. So that was my biggest hesitation to alter that, because now it's Saturday at 7 p.m. and I need to go on a listing appointment with someone because that's the only time they can do it. So it's, you are altering your life. Make sure you want to do it. I've helped quite a few people start their own teams, and if they're not in it for the right reason, have the right game plan put together, they dissolve their teams very quickly.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Nathan, what's the best piece of advice you can give?
They covered a lot of it, but yeah, really sit back and, it sounds all sexy like you said, but it is a lot more expensive and time consuming than people think. Don't do it just for the money, right? Do it because you love to train people, you love to help people, you love to build systems. Check your financing budget and how much money you might have to do that. And maybe start small, with a couple partners. Make sure you're creating that synergy when you're working with those people. The bigger the team gets, just get ready and be okay with reducing your own personal production, right? In exchange for a little bit of more passive income coming in, a little more fluid checks. But for the most part, you're in it because you love to do it, because you're passionate about it, you're passionate about helping people, you're passionate about growing something.
And hire a great sales manager.
Damon.
Yeah, I've been coaching agents for, as a broker, manager for many years on building teams. So I've helped many agents build teams over the years. As a team leader now, I think one of our key value propositions is actually we have team leaders on our team. So we actually help you become a team leader, a better team leader, with associating us. So we actually have a team leader boot camp. So I'd have to say, if you have the opportunity, it's not a plug for our team, but if you have the opportunity to work with team leaders, Shad said they've helped people build, teams. I think that for me would be probably the first and foremost, most important thing you can do is associate with other team leaders to see what they've done. You heard Shad say they went through every lead platform. I know Nathan's went through probably every lead platform as well. So experience is power, right? I mean, being able to rely on somebody else to help guide you, to give you best practices in building a team is invaluable. It really is. So if you have that opportunity, I'd say that's the most important thing to jump in, to identify whether or not a team is for you. If that's something that you want to ultimately take that, start down that path, right? So we actually have about 15 team leaders on our team. So they're all right now, at whatever level they're at, they're learning how to be team leaders. They, at some point in time, may take that knowledge and go start their own team, right? Which is that's what we're here for. We want to help coach, train, mentor, educate people to build their business, whatever that means for them.
Thank you, Damon. All right, so last question. Last question is, if anyone here or anyone that's going to watch it on YouTube later is thinking about joining a team, why should they join your team? Let's start with Nathan.
Well, it depends on the individual. It's going to be different for everybody, right? So if they want to increase their business, if they want to get more clients, if they want to scale their business, right? Do more with less, if they need accountability, if they want to specialize in a certain niche market. We have plenty of leads in different niche markets that we could give to you guys. And just that accountability is huge. If you want to get to where you want to be faster and kind of break that ceiling, then I'll recommend coming to us.
Justin, anything to add to that?
If you need that individual, that one-on-one experience, we pride ourselves on being able to sit down with every one of our agents at any time and give them that one-on-one coaching, that one-on-one mentorship. You guys have mentioned 7 o'clock on Saturday nights, going to listing presentations, and I was just thinking last Sunday morning, my daughter is screaming behind me, doing a Zoom training, helping a new agent write a contract. So
your daughter is helping?
My daughter's written several, actually.
She's what, 3?
She's 3. Working on her license now. But if you want that individual one-on-one, we provide that, because like Damon's model, we have 2 of our team leads sitting in the room as well that can give you that individual treatment, that opportunity to shadow or just have that support behind you. So I think that's what attracted me to the team in the first place. That's what I carried over when I became sales manager, is making sure that agents got that one-on-one. Because as great as Mark is, he can't handle 5 people. So we make sure that you get that one-on-one training and you get that one-on-one support. You might need to call me and complain. And, you know, we have an ear. That's just what we do. So that's what we're here for.
Chad and Brian.
Brian might have a better answer to this, because we actually don't recruit. We've never gone out and tried to recruit. People kind of gravitate to us, so I don't really have like a sales pitch put together on why to join us.
Well, Brian said you're the salesman now.
Well,
I deferred to him.
yeah.
That enough freezing. It's cold in here. Like shit.
We're very transactionally based. I think we kind of went through a window where we would hire anyone and everyone. We still don't care if you're new, seasoned, or right in the middle. That doesn't matter to us, but we are getting more particular about wanting to work with people that want to work, right? Expending energy on people that don't give it back, we're done with that. So we are the highest producing team in the entire Realty One Group network nationwide, to my knowledge. So we're here to close deals, and that's just kind of our focus, right? We do a lot of community-driven things. We have people over to my house, Brian's house, on a regular basis. We do weekly sales meetings, everything everyone else is doing, right? I think everyone is probably, from what I understand, I don't know how they run their business, but there's probably a lot of similarities there. I would tell people to sit down with all 3 of us and whoever else is out there, find the right vibe and dynamic that you want to work with, the environment that you want to interact with every day. I might not communicate a way that connects with certain people, so don't join our team if you don't like the way I communicate, right? Join, get in a good home that you feel comfortable in. And I don't know, that's all I have here.
No, I mean, he's right on that. We have quite a few agents on the team, but they all tend to gravitate to one person. So, some people gravitate to James, some people gravitate towards me, some people gravitate towards Shad. And that's a good thing with having different people within the organization to help, and to assist, and to mentor. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And Damon.
Yes, all this, these guys are spot on here. I would say there's a few reasons agents would want to join a team in general. Typically there's 3 things that keep an agent from succeeding, and really it's the choice of the wrong relationship, the wrong team, the wrong brokerage, right? First and foremost, if you're in the wrong place, puts a roadblock in front of you. You need to remove all roadblocks. So aligning with the right team, the right brokerage is very, very important. Probably the number 1 thing you can do right out of the gate. Some agents face financial challenges, and we address that on our team by assisting with the financial obligations that an agent has in the day-to-day as well. So that's whether signage, lock boxes. That tends to help an agent find themselves in real estate. Sometimes agents come and go very quickly because they start finding themselves in a financial crunch, and they leave before they wanted to leave. So we help with that. And then it goes back to just the mentoring and support of our team leaders to have a very high-touch education, training, and mentoring experience to help you, stay focused on what you're supposed to be doing on a day-to-day basis. Accountability is a big part of real estate, making sure that you have some accountability there. We know we don't want dead weight as well. We do hire new agents, but ultimately there's one other outer line reason that keeps an agent from being successful, and that's work ethic. And you can't solve that for anybody. They have to solve it themselves.
You mean works?
Yeah, work ethic, and that's the one on our list that we can't solve, and we don't want dead weight either. Nobody wants to spend endless time, energy, and effort on somebody that doesn't want to show up. So we're looking for committed agents, somebody that wants to show up, that just needs help, needs guidance, needs the support, needs the direction. Who got in real estate to build a career, right? Most of us got in real estate to build a career, not just to dabble. And so that's important that you have the support to turn this into a career if you have not already. Very important.
Thank you, Damon. Thank you all. Was that amazing? Thank you all. That really was amazing. I really, really appreciate it, guys. And thanks for hanging out for an additional 15 minutes. Remember.